Have you ever wondered what a year in the life of a full-time working professional actor looks like? Well, in this video, I'm going to break down my 2022 with you. The projects that I filmed, the projects that were released, where, when, and why, and some fun acting-related adventures I got up to all throughout the year. So let's crack open the calendar from 2022 and take it month by month. You know what's fun about an acting career? There are literally no 2 years alike. 2020, like so many of you, I didn't work at all. At the tail end of 2020, I think I worked on an independent project that is still yet to be released. But then 2021, I spent 6 months out of my home, across the world, across the country, filming a slew of projects. So 2022 saw a lot of those projects that I had filmed in 2021 get released. And I also got to work on a couple of really great projects throughout 2022, as well as some really fun adventures that I got to take down to San Diego Comic Con, over in London and EGX, and some more. So let's walk through them calendar year 2022 in review, month by month, and I'll tell you what dropped and when and what I got up to all along. So the first project that released in 2022 was a film I did called Assailant. I'm going to be doing a little bit of show and tell here, movie posters and stuff like that, so you have a bit of a visual representation. But Assailant was one of two films that I had done in Nevis, the island of Nevis down in the Caribbean, Nevis St. Kitts. I had done two back-to-back films. Assailant was the second one of that, after a film called 1 Year Off. Couldn't be more different. 1 Year Off was a rom-com, and Assailant was like a psychological thriller action type of movie. So, as you can see in the poster, I got to work with the wonderful Casper Van Dien and Jeff Fahey for the second movie in a row, who I've always been big fans of them both. Really, really wonderful actors. And Poppy Delevingne, who's a British actress, who played the co-lead. So I played a character called named Jason. Jason was a bit of a I don't know. He was a heel. He's kind of a jerk. Him and his wife were going to try to rekindle their relationship in the place where they proposed, got engaged, etc. 10 years later, as their marriage is on the brink, Jason is a bit of a workaholic. His relationship is falling apart. He kind of breaks some agreements, gets caught and called out, and Casper Van Dien's psychopath just happens to be there to teach me and her and us a lesson by stalking us around an island and generally kicking the crap out of me the entire movie. So anyway, we filmed this movie, and Redbox bought the exclusive rights to it. So it became a Redbox original movie, so it was appearing in those nifty red kiosks that you see maybe in a city where you live around the country. I actually visited my parents back in the Southeast, and we went to a grocery store, and there was a Redbox there, and it had our movie front and center, which is really cool to see. But in LA, at the 7-Eleven down the corner from me, they did not have Assailant in the Redbox. The injustice. But anyway, that was cool. That was I think that was April 2022. The movie turned out well. I could do a whole video about that production because it was a blast. It was grueling. It was hard work. It was a lot of fun working with Casper and Poppy and Jeff, of course. A really fun departure for me, playing what turns out to be a very unlikable character, but then you start rooting for him in the end. He does the old hero's journey. He does the turn, and basically on the wrong end of Casper Van Dien's Michael, his brutality all movie. So I'm used to kicking butt. A lot of movies that I did. This one was the one of those rare reverses where most of my stunts involved me getting my butt kicked all up and down the island. So that was the first project that released for me in 2022. It did really, really well. It was pretty well received, and everyone was pretty thrilled with the way it turned out. Which brings us to the next project that was released, I think a month or two later, in May or June, a film called Dead Zone. Dead Zone was a military action kind of horror movie hybrid that we had shot over in Colorado in the summer of 2021. So the producers struck a deal with Tubi for that one. So it aired for free on Tubi on that platform. I was a lead opposite Michael Jai White. So for anybody who's a Michael Jai White fan, incredible martial artist, actor, the original Spawn, back on the HBO series, and he's just had a really, really long storied career, and it is very well known in this action movie space, and for very good reason. Michael Jai was super cool. And then again, for the third movie in a row, in 2021, I got to work with Jeff Fahey. Jeff Fahey played our fearless leader of a group of military elite soldiers who had to drop into a radiated zone to try and recover some medical technology that was going to save the human race from being wiped out. So it was kind of a Mission Impossible drop in, drop out with irradiated freaks and zombies attacking us at every turn. These monstrosities. So it was a really fun movie to do. Michael Jai was super cool. Jeff Fahey is always a powerhouse as always, and we had a really fun cast and crew over in Grand Rapids, Colorado. I might have been getting it wrong. I don't know why I always confuse that city. Right over the border of Utah. But we had a really, really good time working with everyone over there, and the director Hank Braxton, which was a super blast. So people got to watch that one on Tubi for free, which is the way that some of these streaming deals are put together, and it's always nice for fans and audiences, at least in America, to be able to watch it for free instead of having to go the rental purchase route, whatever. But that was a really fun one to do back in the old action territory that I'm so familiar with. That was pretty well received. The New York Times did a fun piece during the fall talking about must-see horror movies, and we made a top 5 list, which was pretty cool to see. We got some love from Deadline and some of the trades as well on the release of the movie and the casting of the movie and stuff like that, which is always fun for an actor to be able to have a little bit of industry ink to circulate around as well. So great experience on Dead Zone. Really, really had a lot of fun strapping into those awesome kind of armor kits that were modified motocross type hybrid. I don't know what you want to call it, but they did a fantastic job giving us our armor for that movie. So that was the second movie that was released in 2022 that I had shot in 2021. So that brings us to mid-August in 2022, which was the release of our 9th entry in the Sony military action film franchise, Sniper. Sniper Rogue Mission dropped on video on demand, rental, buy, purchase, Blu-ray, etc., etc., etc. in the U.S. And a lot of markets overseas. Sniper Rogue Mission, back with Agent Zero, my good friend and co-star Ryan Robbins, Sayaka Akamoto as Lady Death, Oliver Thompson, our fearless leader, genius creator, writer, director, composer, you name it, everything guy. He did an amazing job in this movie. It was a really fun departure. It felt very stylistically and thematically different from the movies we'd done in the past. People really received it pretty well. It was a lot. It was fun, punching up the buddy cop stuff, the comedy, this, that, whatever. Did really well out of the gates. Really, really happy that it was well received and successful in that way. So that way we had a really good release for that, able to do a bunch of press for that in mid-August. That we got a double dip. Sony did a deal with Netflix, and so Sony had the rights to distribute it. Obviously, it's their film property, so they've distributed it their way in the summer of 2022 in August. But then they did an output deal with Netflix, so that's called a second window deal. So after X amount of months, Netflix got to put our Sniper movie on their platform, which is fantastic because sometimes we end up on Netflix US and around the world, sometimes not. Sometimes it's not till years after the original release. But by December, it had hit Netflix US, which is really exciting for people to be able to see it on one of the most popular streaming platforms. So we were just excited to have it there. Lo and behold, our little movie that had a much less significant budget, you could say, than the usual top 10 movies on Netflix. Well, we broke top 10 day 2. We peaked at number 6. We were toggling between 6, 7, 8, 6 again, 7 again. We were in the top 10 most watched movies on Netflix US for 9 days before we finally fell out. So we were hanging with the big dogs, some big budget Netflix original movies, and what was amazing and blew our minds was we had already had a release in the US in August. So many people already saw the movie, but then we hit Netflix and we were blown away by the amount of people that went to go watch it again or were watching it for the first time. And we were competing and hanging with Netflix original movies that had never been released, that were debuting. No eyes had seen it, and we were hanging tight with all the big boys on that list for a good 9 solid days. So that was really something we were ecstatic about. I love the sniper movies. That was the 9th one I did. We shot 10. I'll get into that later in the video, but we shot 10 this past fall of 2022. So it's the gift that keeps on giving. 7 total movies playing Brandon Beckett for me in the Sniper franchise. So Sniper Rogue Mission was a success by all measurable metrics, and it was really fun that we got to double dip not only with the Blu-ray and video on demand rental buy run, but then also again on Netflix. So that was a really cool part of my 2022. So I'm not sure that this counts as a release per se, but in mid-December of 2022, and unbeknownst to me, because that's just the world, there was a new gameplay element dropped into Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty Warzone, the big multiplayer universe that they had built out, which I love to play. And they introduced a new gameplay feature called Raid, where it's like a 3-person team. You solve a bunch of puzzles and try to survive this thing, and there's a whole storyline. So when I started in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, my co-stars, Barry Sloan, who played Captain Price, Claudia DeMitt, who played Farah, Kyle, Gaz is also one of the main characters there, played by the wonderful Elliot Knight. So these were my peeps when I was filming Modern Warfare 2019. So in the raid, those 3 characters got a distress call, and they discovered that someone went missing. And that someone was Alex Echo 31, my character that I originated in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. So in the Season 1 raid teaser promo, Alex's mug flashes up on the screen, and they say, you gotta go find him. Is he alive? Is he dead? You're not gonna know. You gotta navigate this labyrinth and try to survive, and that'll unlock another clue to his whereabouts, etc., etc., etc. So this dropped in mid-December, and I didn't know. And in mid-December, my phone just started blowing up, which was super cool. And I got to see the intro teaser and the cinematic for that, where they just popped my picture up on the screen. So it was really cool. So we don't know what happened to Alex or where he is, but it was a pretty fantastic thing that I'm going to claim as a release, along with the other movies that I listed here, to have Alex tease that he might be alive and out there somewhere in the world. So I guess we won't know until they complete the raid and get on to Season 2. As an actor, almost as much as filming and doing interviews and promoting projects I've been blessed to be a part of, there's almost nothing more fun than some of the acting-related adventures that you get to go on. One of my all-time favorite things to do is to go to Comic Cons. I'm a nerd. I'm a fantasy nerd, comic book nerd, video game nerd, you name it. I've always been that, going back to the end of the Atari days and all the way through. So I love going to conventions like this just for me, just for fun, because it scratches that nerd itch that I have in me. But in 2022, I was lucky to attend and be invited to quite a few conventions around the world, actually, which was an amazing opportunity for me. So I was invited to go to Birmingham, Alabama in the summer of 2022, Magic City Comic Con. Really lovely time. Had some fun Alex cosplay. I'm putting the picture here so you can see there was a Task Force 141 cosplay, which is some of the cool things that you get to see when you go to cons like this. But that was fun. Some other fellow actors made a trip. It was great. It was a small little convention, but local mom and pops businesses, and we had a great time down there for a fun weekend down in Birmingham, Alabama for the Magic City Con. My next adventure, and this one was a bit bigger, was going down to San Diego Comic Con, which is the crown jewel of all Comic Cons across the world. Now, I've been going to San Diego Comic Con, I think the first one was like 2007. I haven't been to one, obviously, since pre-2020. So I was very excited to go down there. My friends at Streamily, I have done live autograph signings with a great company called Streamily. They had a booth on the floor. They invited me, Martin Copping, who plays Lucas Riggs in Call of Duty Vanguard, Jeff Teravainen, who's in Rainbow Siege 6, and a lot of other fantastic projects. They invited us to come down and to do some live signing. I did an Instagram live from there. There's a video I had from there. I did actually a series of 3 videos taking you through all 3 days of my San Diego Comic Con experience, but it was fun to be there, just to take it all in. It is an epic adventure if you've never been. San Diego is just an absolutely lovely, lovely, lovely city. It's my favorite city, probably all in the U.S. The weather's beautiful. It's perfect. Everyone's in a good mood. The costumes there are incredible. The vendors there are incredible. You get exposed to so much. You can go to parties and events and stuff like that. I went to a D&D installation promoting the new film that they're putting out. I got to go to all sorts of fun stuff at night, and of course hang with my good pals Marty and Jeff the entire time. So that was a wonderful thing to be a part of. Streamily people were super rad and took very good care of us. So that was actually a really, really, really fun adventure that if you're interested in learning more about Comic-Con and my experience there, check out the videos that I'll have here in the corner for you. So on my birthday, I got the best gift ever. A plane ticket overseas. Let me explain. I got invited to go to EGX, which is the Electronic Gaming Expo, who was having their first convention since before 2020. So I got invited to go to London. And of course, my good pals, Martin Copping and Jeff Teravainen again, they were doing the release of like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 beta. They had us come there, mix it up with the fans and gamers and players, and just make an appearance. We got to do a Q&A interview. We got to sign some autographs, shake some hands, take some pictures with a fantastic group of people there. I got to meet some of my close friends and everything that lived over there that I hadn't met yet from online. So we had a great time over there. I literally flew out on my birthday, September 22nd. That travel was a misadventure in its own end, but none of EGX's fault, of course. So we had a good weekend there, and then, of course, from there, I went right over to Malta to film Sniper 10. So you couldn't ask for a better birthday present than work, gaming conventions, and suiting up as Brandon Beckett, in that order. Bonus adventure. While I was in Malta filming Sniper 10 last fall, I got to go to another Comic-Con. I was invited with my co-star Ryan Robbins to go to the Malta Comic Con, which happened to coincide over a weekend while we were there filming. So I got to take in an international Comic-Con over in Malta, and it was a pretty big deal. They had like 5,000 to 6,000 people, so we got to go up on stage and do a Q&A talking about acting career, sniper movie, etc. It had a lot of Call of Duty fans, it blows my mind how big the Call of Duty gamer universe is, because there were so many avid gamers who were rocking up with a hard copy of Modern Warfare and wanted to grab some pictures and some signed pictures and stuff. It just always blows my mind the reach of the Call of Duty universe. It's so globally popular around the world. So that was really fun to take in. That was kind of a bonus adventure that just kind of came up as we were there, because the dates coincided and they heard we were there filming. So we got invited to attend by very, very gracious hosts and promoters who were absolutely lovely to me and Ryan. So that was 4 Comic Cons that I got invited to appear at, which makes this old nerd's heart sing. So those are the fun projects that were released in 2022 that I'd been a part of. So this part of the video, I'll talk about a couple of projects that I had the opportunity to actually film. And that brings us to summer 2022. I was able to join a project called Edge of Space. Details are pretty mum on this one. I'm actually going to do a bit of a teaser post promo on my social media, timed to something very, very relevant, an anniversary of sorts. That's all I can say on February 20th. But I did tease a behind the scenes photo of me just getting out of like hair and makeup before I got into costume and wardrobe. So what I can say is it's a period piece set in the 60s. And Edge of Space, I'll let you fill in the blanks about what it might be about. Really excited, really ambitious project. Super excited to play a lead role in it. I don't often get to do, period pieces where I get to go back in time. So playing like the clean cut version of myself was really fun because I'm usually very dirty and very grungy and very sweaty. And what real dirt and sweat isn't on me, they artificially put it all over the place, and whatever hotel room I'm staying in, that tub is a mess by the end of every single night. So this was a really fun project. I can't wait to share more. I know that the final touches of editing, score, VFX, stuff like that are being put in, and everyone's anticipating kind of a spring 2023 before the director and the producers can put that out in the world. So excited to talk more about it. All I can do is give you that little teaser BTS shot for now, but stay tuned February 20th when I can maybe get a first look reveal out to y'all. So the other significant project that I filmed in 2022 was Sniper 10. Yes, the Sniper franchise just keeps going. We got to go to Malta. So people don't know that it is that smack dab literally in the middle of the Mediterranean, a small little island below Sicily, off the coast of Italy, Greece, etc. We got to go there to film this, which was an epic adventure, as you can imagine. So many classic films have been shot there. Game of Thrones is shot there. Gladiator was one of my all-time favorite movies. That was shot there. So the locations were epic. Really a beautiful little island, 36 miles high by 14 miles wide or something like that. It's really, it was really a fantastic, wonderful place to be for 5-6 weeks, however long we were there. Made another great film with the Grit Squad. Dennis Haysbert as the Colonel, Ryan Robbins, Agent Zero, Lady Death, all back in the fold on this one. And that's about all I can say, but we had a real blast. The locations were absolutely epic. Oliver Thompson, of course, wrote this one again, directed, produced. He's no doubt going to do the rad music for this one again too. So Sony's pretty good about getting these out in the world. So we're probably looking at a summer 2023 release for Sniper 10. There is no working title yet. It'll be Sniper : something something, I'm sure, but for now it's Sniper 10. So that was a really fun way to cap off the year filming overseas, which is such a perk of the job for me. My passport is full of amazing places I've had the opportunity to travel thanks to working in film. So Malta was a new passport stamp for me. I love the Maltese people. Really, really had a blast there, and they took very good care of me. And we made another banger. Another pow boom banger. Sniper film coming your way, summer 2023. So it was a good 2022. I got to work on some fantastic projects. I got to see the release of fantastic projects that I had done previously. I got to go to 4 Comic Con comic book conventions, which was absolutely always a total joy for me. But that brings us to 2023. Now we're 1 month deep in 2023, and I've got some fun stuff lined up, which is great. As an actor, you're always on the hunt for the next gig, the next project, and trying to keep the irons in the fire to keep working and doing what you love to do. It's a hustle, it's a grind, but no 2 years are alike, and like I said, it's either feast or famine. It's either slow and or steady. But I take it because variety is the spice of life. But the year ahead, literally today, as of filming this video, the first movie I did down in the Caribbean, in the lovely island of Nevis, is called 1 Year Off, starring me, Natalie Cox, Jeff Fahey, and a wonderful cast. That is being released by Lionsgate Video on Demand February 7th, I think, on all major platforms where movies to purchase or rent are available to you. So that was a fun rom-com. I had pandemic hair. Maybe you won't recognize me. I kind of look like a very poor man's Patrick Swayze. I got to play like like a beach bum hunk, who, and of course there's more to meets the eye and stuff like that. But wardrobe was a breeze on that film. I kind of got to do what I was doing when I wasn't filming, which is walk around on the beach shirtless. So between the crazy hair and the beautiful setting and backdrop, 1 Year Off was a lot of fun to do. Very lighthearted, very, very cutesy, well-written rom-com. Had a blast. I don't often get to do stuff like that, so I was very grateful for the opportunity to try something new on for size and stretch those acting muscles a little bit, playing Harry with my long hair. Kind of worked out that way. And as I mentioned before, I'm going to do a teaser first look post on the period piece project Edge of Space that I was filming last summer 2022. That's coming out February 20th. Doing a little collaboration with the director to bring you all a bit of a teaser about what you can kind of expect, and filling in some blanks for you about this mystery project so far. Also, I mentioned it before, Sniper 10 coming out summer 2023 most likely. There is no working title for that yet, and there's not many details I can say about that yet, of course, because that's just the life us actors live. But I'm very excited for another Oliver Thompson joint to drop from Sony Pictures, and then hopefully on Netflix again soon after. So details will be coming about that. Also, I am my reps are just closing a deal to be part of an action film that is going to go in the spring. Can't say much about that, but stay tuned. Maybe Deadline or The Wrap or Hollywood Reporter or Variety will put a nice piece of information out there in the world for us as we kind of wrap up details on that and get things going. But it's a pretty fun action film script. I can't say much more than that and who else is going to be in it at this point because it's not finalized. The ink is not dry, as they say, but hopefully some details about that coming soon to go and film that this spring. And lastly, I got booked to go to another Comic Con, this one called Duke City Comic Con down in Albuquerque, New Mexico, which I've been. I have family there, so I actually enjoy Albuquerque quite a bit. So this summer in June, I'll be doing another round of a Comic Con appearance, which I'm super, super stoked about. My co-star Ryan Robbins is going to join me. And also, I think I read that like Casper Van Dien is going to be there. It's funny. The longer you go as an actor, the more your world shrinks. And so I'm looking forward to rocking out down there in Albuquerque with those awesome, rad people and, scratching that nerd itch as I do. So, 2022. Good year. No complaints. Saw a lot of great work get released. And people seem to enjoy it, which is always really, really nice to hear and to see the feedback for it all. I got to work on some fun new projects that will be coming out this year as well. So anyway, thanks for taking a walk down memory lane with me. It's always something I love to do, is to reflect back on the year before, the close calls, the near misses, the successes, the blessings, the victories, really taking in those experiences, being grateful for them. And then, of course, always focusing forward on lining up the next thing I get to go play pretend on. So thanks for watching. I hope this kind of filled in some blanks for those of you watching who are curious about what an actor who is a full-time working actor, professional actor, gets up to, how a year could look for them. It doesn't always look like that. Sometimes it looks better, believe it or not. Sometimes, like 2020, it looks way worse. So that's the roller coaster ride of an acting career. 2023 is shaping up to be a really fun one with some interesting projects in the pipeline. So we'll see if those hold true and we can see those through. Anyway, thanks for watching the video, and check out the description below. I'm going to put links to trailers, the projects that I was talking about, if you wanted to watch them, where you can watch them, where you can buy them, rent them, whatever floats your boat. But just so you can kind of put a trailer to the name, to the title, to the poster of some of the stuff that I got a chance to work on. I'll have that below. And as always, like Osash, like, comment, subscribe, share if you got some value out of this video, if you found it interesting, if you know other actors who are just curious about hearing a perspective from an actor who's been doing this for 15 plus years. 15 plus years. Still going. We must be doing something right. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Be well, take care, and here's to a bigger, better 2023.